my posture is getting a little slouchy, and I go, yeah, thanks, yeah. But these are the best players in the world, right? And whether you're an absolute beginner or the best in the world, our fundamentals stack up. Absolutely. So even for the average golfer here, I know you're probably only play 4 or 5 times a week. So you've got to, the better you can do the fundamentals, it really helps. So this is called maximally refined because you've got lines. The number one thing, obviously, like a crash course, is the grip. It's so important. You know, a lot of I can tell you the biggest faults then. The number one fault you club golfers will do generally is you put your thumb on top because you're right-handed and it makes it really strong. It feels like a hammer. Get me? You can hit it. Left arm's a little weaker, but what happens is you can't set your wrist so they don't set enough, and you get that way and you hit it like that. Anybody recognise that one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. So you've got to release this right thumb to get rid of this hammer effect. So the trigger grip, you've got to get that right thumb there, so this, at least your wrist will bend. So that's number one. Number two is hit the palm of the hand to match the club face, but like tennis makes sense, where the palm of the hand goes, the face will change. So that's pretty key, pretty simple. The next number one thing of all my pro-ams, you know, I played the dreaded pro-am for 30 odd years, and I, just for a laugh, because I was that kind of guy, this guy used to hit it straight in the trees, right, and I say, good shot. And he'd be like, and I said, well, that's right, you know, so please, when you come and practice, this was quite good, because it actually just focuses you. But when you stand on these beautiful ranges 200 yards wide, you get lost. You know, you lose your target, and it's so important to aim at a target. So put a club down on the ground and run it like railway tracks, you know, just a little left of the flag there. And if you haven't got a club, I'll rent you one at $39.99. 3 easy payments. So to line, get used to like, so when you stand up to it, number one, you're going to go, that feels horrible. Most of them go, oh, that's better. Yeah? No. Line up, and then you're going to start to learn from this. This is how you get your feedback. So we've got a good grip, good alignment. Now the first trick is most amateur golfers put their weight on their heels, and guess what? You stand too far back, and you can't turn, and then you help. Yeah. And you recognise that one, yeah? Oh yeah. Good. Level one fixed. So quick trick is lift your heels off the ground, put all your weight on the balls of your feet, and guess what? Your legs have to come alive, otherwise you fall over. Yeah, you go boom. So feel what that feels like. Now these come alive. So gently, but don't ruin it and just sink back down. Stay there, just touch the ground really lightly. That's great for your legs, you get me? You bend from your hips, not from your belly. So you bend from your hips, let your arms hang, and that's how you then find the ground, and then basically shuffle in and find the goal. But don't build it that way. So many people stand up here, in the red, golf well, put that right foot, you read golf weekly, you put that there, you golf bunk or whatever. So build it slowly, right. And then what are we trying to do this game? We're trying to get a bit of momentum to it, yeah? We are trying to get our weight to the right side and then our weight to the left side. Obviously right hand. So, yeah, simple as that. Just don't get any moves. How do we do that? So we use the big muscles. Yeah, we want to get the. So the next thing for that, as I said, is fast track. Knees are really key. What I want you to learn is to be able to turn, if you can, and resist this right knee just a little bit. So we're trying to get all the way over without moving that. But the biggest thing that amateurs will do is the right knee collapses. Look, I made a lovely long backswing, but this thing is completely collapsed. So try and keep the right knee there, and then get the weight to move. And the best way to get the weight to move is from your belly. Turn your belly. Yeah, get your belly to move, and then keep going until you start to see your left shoulder come under your chin, right? And then through this area, if you do all of that together, you see there's your takeaway. That's as good as it gets. You let the weight rock onto the right foot a little bit, there. And then we start, the technical stuff starts setting the wrist, but again, it's playing the swing is very important, but just find the natural balance of the club. Don't fight it. You know, I can support the weight there, I can't support it there, I definitely can't support it over there. So find where the club balance is, yeah? So that's what we're trying to do, is keep it simple. Turn. If it's too complicated, just keep your thumbs to the sky, yeah? I won the Open in '87, that's my swing thought. I just went thumbs up, yeah? Oh, it's another two score. So, by the way, I gave all those Pringles away. I got 2. So I was a nice guy. Anyway. So, move the weight, move your belly, get your left shoulder on your chin, and get the wrists to set. So I'm a big believer, they all work. Remember I talked about the thumb. Learn to get your wrists to set. The wrists set fully, and you turn 90 degrees. Look at that. Now you go out backswing. That's it. That's as good as it gets. Yeah. Don't worry about where the elbow goes and everything. If you just crank the club up and send it around the corner, then you've got perfect elbow and everything there. Yeah. And then what we're going to do when we've wound it up, we're going to unwind the darn thing. And the move I really love was to get my left shoulder away from my chin, like that. Just a little move. That's called the separation of the swing. You've got to have that. You don't take it all up in one unit. You don't come down all in one unit, because again it goes off sideways. So I wind it up, set everything, and I get the left shoulder to move away from my chin. Now I've dropped myself in the perfect position here. Now I can cover the golf ball, get on top of it, hit through, and chase after it, yeah? Any questions so far?
What's thumbs down?
Why thumbs up to thumbs up again?
Right, thumbs up, better than thumbs down. No, because if you've got that right thumb pointer there, you're on plane. Get me? Simple as that. Put it on plane, and it matches going through. Try match. Look at thumbs going the same thing. Great image is a cartwheel. Yeah? If you've got a cartwheel angle right through your neck, there's all the spokes of the wheel just up to here. That is it. That's the priority of the golf swing. Get what I'm saying? There's a spoke there, another spoke there, another spoke there. Your wrist there. Comes back down another spoke, through on all the spokes. Get me? It's a great image.
A trick to control a slice.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Hang on. Let's get to that. We'll just give you the basics. We'll get the next really important thing is we've wound it up for the club golfer. The most, how many of you? When you stand, I love it when I go, if I give a lesson, I stand there and I go, have a look at the target. I did. Have another look. I did. Your number one goal, tell me if this is true, is to hit that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all you want to do. I just want to hit the ball. I hit the ball. Technically, I hit the ball. I want you to change from this day on. Your number one goal is to finish the darn golf swing. If you get through the golf ball and face your target, this is the biggest groundbreaking thing in your life now. You've got it, when you, as I said, if you look at it, if you point the club at a target, you keep looking at it. So I want to send that golf ball to that target. We've got 2 billion senses in our body trying to help us, yeah? And what we do is we stop there. Yeah? So send, trust it. If you could swing through and look at your target, and I mean really look at it, face the target, I call it, yeah, with your eyes, your chest, your belt buckle. Now the hardest thing is for club golfers, is for some reason, is to release this right foot with this right knee. You will go like that, yeah? For some reason you can't get through. So all I want you to do, really technical, I want you to get the right knee to kiss the left knee. Alright, got that? How about that? Now you've got your weight on your left foot. So back to the start when I said even weight, if you set your wrist 90, turn your shoulders 90, you've got 90% of your weight on your foot, and then if you swing through and put 90% back on the other foot, you've got a good start, yeah? Any more questions?
The 90% on the front foot, on the backswing, and 90%, that's always the shifting of the weight and keeping your head down is what I was always taught is the biggest problem.
Where were you confused about the backswing, the follow for the
Well,
90s?
it's the idea of, we always, a lot of us were told keep the head down, and we didn't even talk about the head, so I got to make sure that's not just a myth that we heard. And then it's always the shifting of the weight of the feet, which is always so when we're taking the club back, is it a 50-50? Some start to 90 on the back and in the front. I just want to try 90 on the back. Okay, on the back foot.
Put it back. Hey, the best image is a picture of the mount. Yeah?
Okay.
How much do you think you get paid if you're a picture if you threw it like that?
Well, the Mets probably
you
a
get
lot.
$5 a week, yeah? These guys got 25 minutes because he winds it up. He goes here, natural move. He winds it up, plants it, releases it, yeah? Agree? That's how you get optimum power. You don't get it stacking tilt. You don't get a lot of power going that way. Not a fan of stacking tilt at all. So, image. I'm on the mount. Look, I'm going to put all my weight onto my right side and through. Look, there's my momentum. Look at that. Yeah? How nice was that? Simple as that. Right side, left side. Yeah? Got to be going through. Skimming stones is another great image. If you stood in a park with your kiddlywinks, you skim stones. You don't want to skim a stone like that, would you? You look where you want to go and you throw it. Look at that move. You're just doing that without thinking about it. If you're really confused about this game of golf, put your feet here and skim some stones for a while. Because look, there's your backswing, there's impact, and you've got to learn to release it, otherwise you go whining that way or you take Canon's head off. So look at the target and release it. Promise you, it will help you. So if you can do all those basics and the club helps you, then, like the gentleman said, we all slice it. So let's understand what a slice is. So if I stand up perfectly square with a perfectly square club face, but the club goes outside the line and across it, yeah, we should get the golf ball to slice, yeah? Mate, you'd all take that one. That's a fail. Well, I have to go. Right? Better? Still a fail, right.
Do you want me to show you a slice?
So, how do you cure it? Try and do the opposite. So, most of you will slice it. The weight's on your left foot, grip, right shoulder's a bit high, everything's a bit open, and as I said, weight's on the heels, you can't turn enough, and you're doing this, you see? You take that one. See how adaptable I am? So, try and do the absolute opposite. So, you can keep the club face square, you can tweak everything, turn your feet a little to the right. This is a great way to practice actually here, because you can aim the club face down the middle, you can point your shoulders and everything to the right hand side, and if you swing to the right, the golf ball, where's it gone? I lost it. And they come back? Yeah, it should be. If I aim square, there, move the ball, and I swing to the right. Swing to the right net. See it. Try another one. Get me, so you've got to get the science of this game is the club's got to be going into our, here we go. Right, I saw that. Right at the top. Hark, I hear yon thunder roar.
Do you recommend doing that, Nick? Like changing things like that, like if you slice it, like take your back foot back and stuff like that, or is it like, well, you need to get your backswing?
No, because if ball flight will help you cure an awful lot of things, yeah? It really will. If you can learn to, because you've got a club on the ground, you start to understand, well, yeah, the simplest way to make this game work is to swing the club, square club face as much as possible, and get the club face working across the ball. And then you get to understand how much you have to do it, how exaggerated you have to do it. You know, it depends on your level. I mean, if you're a single figure player, you can start to feel a little bit, start to rotate. I used to hit a lot of draws by rotating arms, so it still stand pretty square. I could rotate my arms, you know, so you get different kinds of draws that way. But to understand in this quick crash course how to make the golf ball, you know, cure things. so many of us, as I say, it all comes from posture. If you set up and you feel comfortable, you are restricted, you can't do anything, that's the best you can do, yeah? You're stuck, so that's what I'm saying. Stand taller, get the chest open, get the weight in the right place, get to turn or move the foot. You can whack the dance, yeah?
What if the swing plan is correct for out in and out, like you're not closing in one space, so it's just going back and going further right?
Well, no, it won't be closed. You can have the club face open, so I can swing into
Sorry,
it.
yeah, that's
If
what
I've got an open club face going into out, the thing won't come back.
That's what I'm talking about. It's going, you're swinging in and out.
If you go, see how you learn, if you're swinging into out, but the club face is open,
Right.
the thing will just keep going right.
Right. Is there a trick to getting a club face closed with an in and out swing?
No, just start with it square.
Okay.
Start with it square, and then you can have fun. You know, if you imagine there's a tree in the way,
Sure.
you put the club pointing at your target, shoot the chassis. Right, I can aim, look, right at the tree, as much as that. And watch this one. Yeah? That's how you get around a tree. Same the other way. See if there's a tree here, but around the other way. Point the club at the target. You aim, make sure your shoulders are left of the tree, and then you're going to swing across, and there's, you know, you go the other way. More fun.
Can you fix a slice that way?
Sorry.
Fix a slice.
I don't want to spoil the fun, but it's going to be the last question. We need to move on to the next stage, which is going to be as interesting as Nick's clinic.
How can it be? Huh? What's that? As you get older, you get flexible. It's in your lower back. It's in your lower back. I sit my butt on the TV now, and I've lost it. You know, so you have to work on it. But it's in your lower back. You can keep this moving, all these stretches. As we get older, my coach is telling me to stretch twice a day. It makes a big difference. If you can turn this, keep turning. That's where at least 20, if you're a decent golfer, you've got at least 20 yards when you're locked up back, you know. So, and then the only other, I do two other quick. What is that?
Extra swing weight. It's a demo club. It's another jump necklace there.
Well, yeah. He didn't know what he was doing. Only guessing. Okay. Right, two other parts that are really important is tempo. You know, once you get a decent swing, and you watch it, you listen to my comments as well, you see the guys with great tempo, and they're the guys who stack up on a Sunday. So that's the glue that sticks the golf swing together. So, very important part. So you can learn it different ways. You know, all the old drills, the swinging your feet together. You know, great, all work. The other really good one is you can actually count 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that's not too complicated. But 1 can be back here, anywhere. 2 has got to be when you see your left shoulder come under your chin, yeah? And then you turn fully. And then 3 is just through impact. Let it go. And a big like red impact zone. So you watch the difference in this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see? You start to step up the, and you don't have to hit it harder then, you just kind of just up the momentum. So you can still be doing 1, 2, 3. Watch 1, 2, 3. And start, you know, get it out there. Get me? The other one, if you get a chance to see a decent pro like what I am, through television and maybe live, you know, you can watch their tempo and you actually can copy them. So pick, like I'm a big frame guy, Ernie else, so I copied his swing quite a bit. And he's lucky. Ernie's really lucky. He's got a great name for golf as well. He goes, Ernie else. You see? Look at that. Ella McPherson. That's true. Who else? You know, I'm now trying to do my Sam Snead swing. I'm trying to get rid of Sam Snead. You see, he had a lovely rhythm through it. You get different guys. Tom Watson. If you turn it a little bit faster, if you do, you know, you get a little bit more Tom Watson. Get me? Great to visualize other people. I did it. And of course, we've got Tiger. Oh, I got a great Monty. You get Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie. Oh, anyway, that was it. That was it. All right. One more question.
The first thing you teach someone that has never swung a club before.
Throw it a bit higher. The first thing you teach them, all of this. Hope you write it all down.
It's like my wife. If I give her one piece of lesson, when she first grabs the 7 iron, right? What do you want to tell that
I'm
person?
not going there, mate.
No!
Yeah, I'm going to keep it's a family show.
You didn't talk about the head. A lot of us always talk, keep the head down, don't move the head.
Let it, watch it, but let it go. Collect it. When you watch the golf ball, obviously, but once it's on, you let your head be pulled around. You know, again, because you're so fixated about hitting the darn thing, all you do is do that.
There you go.
There you go. There we go.
Let it go. Look at it.
All right, the last bit is sports psychology. I'll give you a crash course in sports psychology. So, how many of you are in your office this afternoon, and I assume you got in the car to get here, and you got behind the wheel and you said to yourself, don't drive to Boston. Anybody? Okay. So then when you arrived here, how many of you said, don't fall in the harbour? None of you said that, yeah? So how many of you stand on the first tee and go, well, don't hit in the trees, right? Yeah? So that the great, but don't work. Go right. Do not think of a strawberry. How do I get rid of a strawberry? I've got a strawberry in my mind. How do I get rid of a strawberry in my mind? You think of something else. You think of a lemon. Oh, the strawberry's gone. Get it? So you replace the picture. So that is the 101 of golf, because you lot all stand out here and go, don't hit in the fence from the right, because I slice it all the time, and what do you see? Fence on the right. I don't hook it left. You see the fence left. I don't top it. You see the front. Yeah? So the word don't's got to go. Yeah? So I want you to stand up. Seriously now, just look down the fairway and go, what do I want? Well, I want to hit the ball there. Down the fairway, right there. And then we are afforded in golf a practice swing. So make it a real rehearsal. Yeah? Yeah, so you're standing going, oh, I would love it to go down there, 350 yards, and you stand back and you have a practice swing that looks something like that. Yeah? And the mind goes, what was that? Yeah? So stand up and have a look wherever you want to do it, and then have a real practice swing at the proper speed. And get it so it really feels right. Get me? And if it does feel good, then it's called commitment. You stand up and go for it. Like that.
Cool. Practice swing is on speed.
Yeah. And the other trick is, in the crash course of this, if you've got a 4-foot putt on the last for your best ever score, how many of you stand up and go, 4 pushes here, 4 push there, up, 4 break, whatever it might be, you stand up, right, breathe out, and take plenty of practice swings, get the tension out of the body. And the Madonna falls off. You lose your Madonna. So then you stand up, and seriously, some of you guys in the pro am stand up like this. Stand up to 4 foot, and the little voice goes, don't hit it like that, mate. You go, ah. Yeah? And he doesn't make it. Yeah? So seriously, try, in my crash course, try every single shot. You've got a 4-foot putt, hit it up to 4-foot putt. You've got a 30-yard chip shot, practice a 30-yard chip. You can't play chips like this and expect it to go 60 yards. You know? So rehearse what you want, and if you, at another level, if you can then see the shape of the ball. So I want a big hook, so you see the ball come back to a big curve. When the ball's coming in a curve this way, it makes sense. The club's got to start this way, wouldn't it? Then you have to work inside as well, then you get your hook. Yeah, you've got to slice it, see it slice. Obviously that means the club's got to go over that way and go back that way. Huh?
Yeah.
I need
All right.
an unnecessary well made.
You have a big round of applause.